How's it going, my trim people? Dr. Slacking, the Slacking Doctor, back with week I don't know what of the UPBA. This week we're taking on my man Jack, the Donphanatic, and his Norwich Skitties. And this is kind of less of a battle and more of story time. You see, there's beef here. There's real beef here. Me and Jack, we go back. So the beef all started when we were doing a Let's Play together. You guys might have seen it on the channel. It's had to stop briefly because other Jack's computer's broken, but we were doing a Soul Link. And he was the rival Jack. He was the enemy Jack in the Soul Link. So straight away, there was bad blood. It was a Soul Link versus co-op versus. So, straight away he was the enemy Jack. He was the enemy Jack. Bad blood instantly. Pretty sure he hacked my game to make me have one episode where I just had to stall the whole episode. It was pretty rough. Then we started doing Borderlands together, and that was supposed to be a co-op. We were supposed to all be working together for Borderlands. And I have been assigned by the team the duty of Chief Looter. My job is to loot all of the boxes, to open all of the boxes and find the best weapons. That's just what they've told me to do. They say, don't worry about getting involved in the fights. You don't worry about any of the shooting or any of the major aspects of the game. You just loot things. But Jack has this tendency to do something he calls yoinking. He likes to yoink items, which I think, frankly, if I've been assigned by the team job of head looter, it's pretty disrespectful to then just, yoink things. So there's bad blood, there's beef, and we were supposed to play for the UPBA. Now, unfortunately, Jack decided to John me. He decided to John me pretty badly, so we couldn't get the game going, and then eventually, and these are his exact words, not mine. And if I'm lying, if this is in any way lies, Jack can sue me. I'm saying it right here, Jack can sue me if I am lying, if this is not a direct quote from him. Just so you guys know, I just wanted to be absolutely clear, this is a direct quote from him. He said, I don't want to play you because Masquerain will 6-0 me, right? And I was like, well, of course, it's the Messiah, that makes sense. But I was like, look, just play, and I tell you what, I will just bring the Masquerain. Only the Masquerain, you don't have to worry about anything else. I will only bring that mon, and we'll see. We'll see if it 6-0s you. Anyway, he refused to play, so we were given the forfeit win. And then eventually he was like, okay, I'll play you. I think I've got a team that can take on Masquerain. So I was like, okay. Let's see. So we agreed to do it on Showdown because, well, I don't really know, to be fair. I think he had a problem with his internet or something. He just said it had to be on Showdown. So I was like, all right, we'll do it on Showdown. Sure, whatever. So we agreed to play on Showdown. I just brought the Masquerain. Completely legal set here. Nothing untoward. And he's brought 6 Fampies. Now, like I say, this is definitely illegal. Just to begin with, we've already been given the forfeit win because he refused to play me because he didn't want to get 6-0'd. But, secondly, 6 Fampies is almost certainly illegal, especially considering he didn't even draft one of them. But, I was willing to give this guy a game. So, we're going to get into this, and we're going to talk about, I'm going to put it on really slow so that we can make sure we get the full sort of thought process. So I decided to leave with Masquerain because looking at his team, I think it lines up pretty well. I feel like he doesn't really have a counter lead that can stop me. He decides to lead off with this Fampi here. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm just going to go for the Quiver Dance. I have Focus Sash on the Messiah. So even if he goes for a Rock Slide, I'll be fine just to get off my my Quiver Dance as 5. But he actually goes for the Sandstorm here. And I was like, that's really interesting. Why would you run Sandstorm on Fampi? And so this was the point where I started kind of looking into what Fampi can do, and I looked at his abilities, and I was like, oh my goodness, pick up in Sandveil. So this is Sandveil, right? Right, okay, so is he running Sandveil? And it turns out, you'll see in just a second, as he decides to send out another Fampi, which I kind of predicted, I was fairly sure. You can see here, in fact, Sandveil decreasing accuracy is even coming up in the chat. I kind of figured that he might go with another Fampi, and you see we can miss there the 100% accurate Scold. And it turns out he was actually Sandveil Bright Powder with Ancient Power. So I was like, okay, well, this gives me an insight into the type of player I'm playing as, right? He's not trying to beat me with skill. He's relying on hacks to beat the Messiah. That's the way he's going. He's decided, I know how I can beat the Messiah. I can hacks it, which, considering the Messiah never hacks anyone, I think is frankly disrespectful. But we land the next skull, but we are taking Sand Chip, and I'm like, are we going to make it? Do we have enough turns to take out these Phanpys? Are they all going to be like Bright Powder, Sandvale? You can see here like Bright Powder coming up in the chat. Bright Powder, Sandvale. Like, are we going to be able to hit them? Or is he just going to run through us? But we do pick up a KO on the third Phanpy. Pretty good prediction there by me to kind of predict he'd stay in and just go for the Scold. I thought about Quiver Dancing on the switch, but with the Sand Chip coming, I was like, I think he's going to stay in. I think he risks his Phanpy and just stays in. Like I said, I've already seen the type of player this is. This isn't a player who's trying to make, safe plays or anything like that. He's just going for hacks. And unfortunately, he gets it here as we missed 100% accurate Scold. And he gets to fire off another Ancient Power. So he's really just fishing for those boosts, He's really just trying to hacks us out here, running the Omni-boosting move, plus Sand Veil, plus Bright Powder. So, like I say, we've got an insight into the type of player Jack is here. But it's fine. We go for another Scold, and the Messiah comes through for us. The Messiah comes through. Manages to land the Scold and KO the Phanpy. Perfect situation for us. As he now has just 2 Pokemon left. And I think he's probably going to go into the Phanpy here. Which he does. Great ears, by the way, on Phanpy. Great ears. I'm just going to go for the Scold. I thought about Quiver Dancing again, but I was like, I think we're just going to fire off the Scold because the Sandstorm ends this turn. And as long as I land these 2 Scolds, we should be fine because this last one isn't going to be able to take advantage of the Sand Veil. So I was like, yes! Perfect, the Sandstorm subsides, we're not taking any more chip. This one, it could have Bright Powder, but as long as it doesn't have, as long as we don't miss, we guarantee to win this game, right? We should have Oko with Scold, so we fire off the Scold. He reveals to have the Sturdy, which I'll remind you is an illegal ability. This thing only gets Sand Veil and Pickup, right? We burn him, so he's going to die to his chip, but then he reveals the Let's Snuggle Forever. What? 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 This thing... What? Excuse me? Excuse me? So, unfortunately, we do lose 1-0. This thing should also have died to burn, by the way. That's bullshit that it didn't die to its burn. I don't know what's going on there. Showdown needs to fix that. So, we do technically lose 0-0, because this thing's definitely dead. But... I don't think this game should stand. The thing is, even if he hadn't cheated by bringing 6 Phanpys, even if he hadn't cheated by bringing an illegal move, bringing in a banned item in Bright Powder, and bringing a banned ability, like, even if he hadn't cheated with all those things, the fact that he johned me for so long, and then relied on hacks to beat the Messiah, a Pokemon that's never hacks to anyone, I think is frankly grounds for a forfeit. Anyway, let's just look at this animation here as this Phanpy goes down, and we see the final Phanpy come out. Just look at this. I mean, the shenanigans are so clear. Like, he didn't even try to hide his cheating. The shenanigans are so clear as he reveals the Sturdy. And look at this animation. Look at this giant elephant stamping on the Messiah. That is blasphemous. So, regardless, I have appealed this game. I believe that, we've given the forfeit win for his johnning, but I feel like he should be kicked from the league. So, and you could say that I'm biased because he keeps yoinking my items in Borderlands. You could say I'm biased because he's on the opposite team of the Soul Link. But frankly, I think those accusations are unfounded and slanderous. So, instead, I've appealed for him to be kicked from the league.